Now we will move to electric field, region around the charge object in which Coulomb's force can be experienced by another charge is called electric field. Let capital Q and small q be the two charges separated by distance r. Therefore, by Coulomb's law, force between them can be written like this. Mathematically, electric field is defined as the force experienced per unit charge. Therefore, putting value of F from the above equation, we will get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 capital Q divided by R square unit vector. This equation defines that the electric field intensity experienced by a charge when it is placed at a distance of r from the main charge plus q charge. If r is same, then value of E will be same everywhere. Therefore, we have shown it in the diagram. Now, electric field is a vector quantity because force is also a vector quantity. Now we will derive units and dimension. Since mathematically electric field is explained as force experienced per unit charge, therefore force has unit Newton, Q has unit Coulomb, so Newton per Coulomb is the unit for electric field. Now if we have to find out the dimensions, then we know the dimensions of force, that is m1 L1t minus 2, and dimensions of Q. How to find out the dimensions of Q? In the very first video we saw that current is charge flowing per unit time Q by T, where value of Q is I into T. So here I into T, that is I1 T1. Just a mathematical adjustment, we got this dimension. These are the dimensions for electric field. So finally we will come to the statement that region around which charge object experiences Coulomb's force due to another charge is called electric field. Hello friends, now we will move to superposition principle. When number of charges are interacting, then the resultant force on a particular charge is a vector sum of all the forces acting on the charge. Consider the 5 charges. Let Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 and Q5 be the 5 charges in a system, and we have to calculate the force on charge 1. Now for this we will stick to the equation. We know that force acting on charge 1 is due to charge 2, due to charge 3, due to charge 4 and due to charge 5. That means the number of forces which are acting on charge Q1 is this. Now if we have to calculate how much is the force acting on charge Q2, then force on charge 2 is force on charge 2 due to charge 1, due to charge 3, due to charge 4 and due to charge 5. This will be the equation. Similarly, you can calculate how much is the force acting on charge Q5. So I have just given dash 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 and so on. Now we know that force between the two charges. For example, let's take this, that force F12, force between the two charges Q1 and Q2 is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 into Q2 divided by distance square, and the unit vector is R21. Unit vector is R21. Similarly, from F13, force between the charge 1 and charge 3, this force between charge 1 and 4, similarly, and so on. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 is common in all of this, therefore we have take the common and we have directly wrote this equation. If n number of charges are there, then we can write this equation, that force on a single charge is due to n number of charges, and in the summation form mathematically that can be written like this. Now we will come Now we will move to electric line of force. Electric line of force and magnetic line of force, these are just an imaginary lines developed by Faraday, so that we will have a more clear understanding about electric line of force and magnetic line of force, or electric field and magnetic fields. Here in diagram it is shown that a charge and its electric field around it. Electric field, that is curve, that is circle, and a tangent to any point gives the direction of an electric field or electric line of force. Considering this diagram, we will come to the definition. Electric line of force, these are the imaginary curves drawn in such a way that tangent at any point on this curve gives the direction of electric field at that point. Means if we consider this curve and we draw a tangent to this, then this will be the direction of electric field in this direction. If more is the electric field lines, then more is the electric field intensity. That means the number of electric field lines is directly proportional to the strength of a electric field. Now we will move to characteristics of electric line of force. This electric line of force always starts from positive charge and ends on negative charge. Since because electric field lines have to travel a shortest distance, they always starts from positive and ends on negative charge. Therefore, they never intersect and therefore they never meet each other. Electric line of force do not pass through the conductor. That means electric field inside the conductor is zero. Remember, we are talking about electric field inside the conductor. Do not get confused. We are not talking about electricity or electric current. We are talking about electric field inside the conductor is zero. The proof of this is given in application of Gauss law, but since because this topic has been excluded from your syllabus, you will have to remember this. This says that electric line of force do not pass through the conductor. Electric field lines, that means electric field inside the conductor is zero, but they pass through the insulator. If more the number of line of force, more will be electric intensity. As discussed earlier, strength of the electric field is depends on the number of line of force. If more is the number of line of force, then more is the electric field intensity, and less, that means electric field intensity will be less. This means when electric intensity is small, electric line of force are widely separated, and when electric field intensity is large, electric line of force are crowded. In an uniform electric field, the line of force are parallel to each other. These are the characteristics of electric line of force. We will quickly revise this again. That is electric line of force, or in the next chapter magnetic line of force. These are just an imaginary lines to have a clear idea, or to have a clear concept. This has been developed by Faraday. These are imaginary lines or imaginary curves drawn on this any point such that tangent at any point gives the direction of curve. And in characteristic, few things you will have to remember is that they always starts from positive, ends on negative, never intersect each other, do not pass through the conductor, and more the number of electric field lines, more is the electric field intensity. That's it for now. We will come with the another topic in the next video. Thank you.